Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm 22 years old. I've been in a wheelchair since I was 3. I'm a C7 quadriplegic. Live in South Brisbane and I'm an environmental scientist. Yeah, it's great. I highly encourage people to get out there and see the world as sustainably as they can and look at all the beautiful natural wonders of the world that we still have. Yeah, so I've experienced disability as obviously a child and an adult, so I've been through most of it. You know, I've had to have all my houses renovated. I've had to make sure when I travel that I get everything in place. I've had carers throughout my life, so I have people help me get up in the morning and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just been trying every day with what I've got. So. Yeah, so there's been a lot of challenges. Obviously it's difficult to find places that are accessible to stay, and there's also, you know, sometimes you get there to places that claim that they are accessible and they're very much not. Recently I actually went to New Zealand and I stayed in a place that claimed to be fully accessible, but actually only the bathroom was, and they had to move furniture out the way for me to even get through the front door. And they also had to build a makeshift ramp to get into the front door. So there's a lot of stuff goes on. Yeah, so most of the time you just have to like figure stuff out while you're there, you know. Yeah, we literally built a ramp out of like pieces of wood. Because yeah, you never really know what you're going to come up against. You learn to problem solve when you're in a wheelchair. In the past, I've mostly looked it up just online, you know, making sure that people have it listed, and I'll ring them to make sure. I'll ask mostly about the bathrooms, because that's obviously really handy when it's big enough for me to fit my shower chair and everything in. Sometimes I'll double check reviews. There's a couple of Facebook groups that I'm a part of that also comment on which places are or aren't accessible. I've also in the past hired a travel agent who's in a wheelchair who just knows the places, so yeah. Yeah, so I think there's one called the Accessible Group, and it's basically people just post on there whatever they want in terms of experience that they've had travelling or, you know, eating out somewhere or whatever. Also Spinal Life Australia is really good, so I'm on those. Yeah, I've had heaps of good experiences, so, you know, places that have like open wide kind of layouts. Bathrooms have had, you know, handrails, open big showers. Some places have even, you know, provided like plastic chairs just in case for the shower if you need it. Yeah, there's been a lot of great places all around the world. Like I've travelled in Europe, Canada, and New Zealand, and there's places everywhere that accommodate. I think that they definitely need to have more images on their websites and things, and be a bit more open. You know, it's not just about bathrooms necessarily. You know, it needs to be an open floor plan to be able to get around. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. So yeah, I think that websites could have some more images and more information regarding accessibility. Yeah, well, my most recent was to New Zealand, which is pretty awesome. I've been there a couple of times. The people are just really lovely, and if you do have an issue, they're happy to help, and yeah, it was really accessible. Another one of my favourites was Vancouver, Canada. It's actually so accessible because one of their mayors was in a wheelchair. So So they actually have some pretty strong legislation about accessibility. Mostly just how much I want to go there. You know, I love seeing more like natural stuff. Obviously I'm interested in the environment. So places like New Zealand and Canada where you can go to the mountains and the forests and stuff, it's beautiful. I'd really love to go to the UK. I've been to Europe before. I've been to France and Spain. It's a journey because it's such a long flight. Obviously, it's more difficult. So I just haven't gotten there yet, but I hope to one day. I want to visit the Natural History Museum. I like all types of experiences, I guess. Like in New Zealand, I recently just did the shot over jet, which was really fun. It was awesome. So yeah, like adrenaline stuff, or even like gondolas. Yeah, like when I was at Whistler, their gondolas are really accessible. You can just drive straight in, go right up to the top of Whistler. Yeah, all types of stuff like that. Cruising through Milford Sound, or when I was in Spain, going to the La Umbra, which is a little bit harder because it's so old, but still doable. I've usually been able to overcome them. Maybe some of the more adrenaline stuff, like my partner went bungee jumping in New Zealand, which I would probably do if I could, but I'm a little bit hesitant towards that stuff. I think that unless you are someone or know someone with a disability, you aren't really aware of all the things that aren't, accessible. I don't think people take notes of stairs or, just like the little things like bathroom wires stuff. Unless you know someone, you don't really understand it. And I think that's something also that needs to be looked at in the future, is how do we get people to see those little things even though they're unaware of them. So yeah, it's important. Patience. Just to be patient with everyone and to really explain to people what I need and help them see and to help me out. There's a lot of explaining involved and a lot of just trying to figure stuff out. So at the moment I'm working on applying for a PhD at Griffith University with the Hopkins Centre. I'm hoping to look at how the legislation within Australia and especially Queensland translates to accessibility in the community. So that could be anything from housing to work to going out to restaurants, clubs, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'll hopefully be looking at, is whether it's working as it is now and what we maybe need to do in the future for it to translate better to reality.